Grooves and Grog, this is the Targaryen you're looking for. Please welcome to stage, Watto!
Please. I'm begging you, we do not have time for a standing ovation. We have 2 shows tonight. There is a late show. We have to keep it moving. I'm begging you, we do not have time for all of you to give me a standing ovation. Folks, I'm not kidding here. This is irresponsible. Sit down. Someone not so fast. Fight it a little bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show. Who here has ever seen entertainment before? Okay, so you are ready. That's what you're going to see tonight. Entertainment. Who here, though, here's the tougher question. Who here has never seen the George Lucas Talk Show? I want hands, no clapping. I want visualization. I'm a visual thinker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can I ask you? I'm sorry you made the mistake. You're in the front row. I'm not going to put you on mic. What? And there's no wrong answer. What do you think this is? No wrong answer. Anything.
I just assumed you were going to entertainment.
Entertainment. We're trying to clean our branding in 2023. People like to say we have a thick premise. I think we have a razor-thin premise. Is entertainment is what we provide. But here's a little context for those who need to know. In the early 2010s, a simpler time. Billionaire, philanthropist, artist, genius, George Lucas experienced a kidnapping, not of himself, not even of his first or second-born child, but his most lucrative third-born child. A ransom note was left in his sprawling estate that said, "Here are the $5 billion we agreed upon. Thank you for selling us Star Wars. Love, Disney." George was bereft. He needed something to do, and he said, "This is the time to step out from behind the camera, to put my money where my mouth is and do what I've always done best. Personality-based, human connection, conversation. A man who can talk to anyone about anything and make anything funny." So that's what we're doing here tonight, and I want to make sure everyone's ready. What do you do if something funny happens? Yes. And what do you do if something sad happens? Right, and you don't ask for a refund. That's the important part. Because we might go there. We might. Who knows where the mood will take us. And what do you do if something sends you into a state of profound but quiet internal contemplation? I said quiet. Let's adjust it. Let's make it silent. Okay, I'm seeing some good. The chin stroking is what we're looking for. I think we're about ready to start. Let's start the fucking show.
George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars.
And I am Watto, sidekick slash... Fuck, I'm supposed to do that one last so I can do the kick on it.
No, let's back to one.
And I'm Watto, warm-up comic slash announcer slash sidekick. I do it second to last slash flying space Jew because that's closest to a punchline.
That's great. I think we have it.
We have it. Sometimes they call me Two-Take Watto for a reason.
That's right, but you render faster than anybody else in the
I
business.
do, that's true.
This guy's a fast render. I don't
Yeah.
know if any of you have experience with rendering.
Unlike Liam Neeson, that guy took about 5 hours to render.
Yeah. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for coming to the show.
George, my condolences.
Oh, what did I lose?
Notice you're wearing the hat. Of course, Willow
Oh, right.
was canceled or not renewed for the second season or whatever the verbiage is these days.
No, I heard it was canceled.
Yes.
Now I believe it's just that they're not going to make any more of them.
Right. This is the thing.
This is an
yes.
important distinction because
Right.
a lot of people said, "Oh, Willow." Who watched Willow season 1 on Disney Plus?
Okay.
Thank you. Shame on everyone who didn't. Because they can tell. They look at the
Yes.
numbers. They can tell, and
They
they're
can tell.
secret. It's a secret. Who all the people who show shows
Yes.
want to keep it a secret. They don't
Yes.
even tell the people who make shows how they're doing.
Those are the last people they tell.
Yes.
Yes.
But
yes, no,
it was
the goalpost
announced that
shifted.
Willow would not be returning,
Right.
and then they clarified that maybe it'll return someday, maybe decades from now.
This is the thing. What the shows get uncanceled now? They get unrenewed.
Yeah.
Shows that have produced don't get seen.
That's right. And I think you just have to assume that we have a limited amount of time left anyway.
It's pretty wild, George. I feel like we haven't talked about this that much because we haven't done that many shows in recent months.
Right.
But there's so many ways you get credit for being a pioneer in the industry and
Thank you.
changing the industry.
Thank you.
And quietly, one of the ways you're still continuing to be a pioneer is that, of course, you self-financed, self-produced 36 episodes of Star Wars Detours, an animated show that Disney owns the rights to and has never released. For a decade, it sat on a shelf. And now every streaming service is doing this. Every streaming service is
Yeah.
spending money to make shows and going, in fact, we will make a point of never putting this online.
And I don't know whether Disney got the tax write-off for the Star Wars Detours.
They
I
were
don't
dumb
know if,
in that
I don't
sense.
know if they filed for it
They
because that's the
could've.
new thing. People are making shows just to write them off and never show them.
Apparently, this entire fucking industry is run by Max Bialystock now. Apparently,
Yeah.
it took 60 years, but now everyone realized if it's a business, then we shouldn't put anything out there.
Right.
Nothing should be good or watchable.
But this show tonight will be incredibly watchable.
Tonight,
Yeah.
because we're outside the system.
That's right.
Independent artists.
We are literally underground.
We're underground. And here's the other thing. We don't have one of these shifty, conniving, money-grubbing producers.
No. No.
We have Patrick Cotner.
Could never ask for a better intro.
No, I'll say to your credit, Patrick. Patrick is so unconcerned with trying to make out of this a rich man that he, in fact, makes sure that we never get paid well for doing this show. None of us. There's favored nations. We're all losing money in this together.
Yeah.
Now, Patrick, you're a producer, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
The last time we had you on this stage, I believe we had a discussion about how high your chair would be.
I know.
Right now, I know of at least one person I've never met who can only see your behind.
Sure.
And that's the show for them.
Yeah.
And while some might argue that You're Behind is very entertaining,
Yeah.
that's not the kind of entertainment the show has ever promised.
The good news is I've met them, so I feel like it's a little bit better.
I don't feel that's better at all. So it's a punishment then. It's a deliberate.
Let me just talk. Are you okay? Are you okay with this?
Yes.
I mean, this will be the whole show.
I love it.
All right.
Do you wish he had worn darker jeans? Just because the acid wash is a little intense on these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, and I apologize in advance, Patrick, but in talk shows, the height of a performer on stage is a sign of status.
Yes.
And we are going to make it clear tonight that this is not the case. You've left us no choice. By placing yourself this high, Watto and I and our guests are going to have to make sure that it is very clear throughout the show that you have extremely low status.
Yeah. This is why we all know Conan O'Brien is the best talk show host of all time.
So tall.
Because even if you pull his chair out, even sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor, he's taller than any guest.
I mean, do you... God,
What?
I hate to,
No,
I
what's the
hate
question,
to even
Patrick?
suggest it. Do you want me to sit on the floor?
Let's ask
what
the
a good
audience. Let's ask
idea.
that's an audience question.
I'm mad I even said it,
Patrick,
but it felt right.
I think it's an incredibly good idea, and we'll make incredible good use of that stool.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now you need your little computer on the floor with you?
Yeah, it's a
All
regular.
your little things?
It's a regular sized computer, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's when you get down on the floor, it's gonna look like you and your little computer.
Patrick, do you want your little computer on the floor?
Okay. How's that? Is that better for you guys? Can
that's
everyone see
incredible.
better?
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. That's too many. That's too many claps.
You can also, if you want, like
Yeah.
you're a teenager on the phone on your bed, you can lie down if you want.
Go belly.
I'm just.
I won't be able to breathe.
Belly on the floor, legs kicked up, back
All right,
over.
maybe. Oh God.
Oh.
I already knocked over
This
water.
is why you need
All
a
right.
drink stool, Patrick. This is the reason for the drink. Patrick, you knocked it over again. You re-knocked it.
All right.
We'll see how long this lasts.
Okay.
Great start.
Great start to the show. Now,
Yeah.
Patrick, you've done a great job booking guests for
Thank
the
you.
show.
Great job
Great
booking
job,
the
little
game.
guy.
You.
What did you just say?
I said thank you.
Okay, just being clear.
Should we bring them out?
Yes, let's bring them out.
Grogu's and Groudras, please give it up for an all-star lineup. Amy Irving, Michael Urie, and Andrew Barth Feldman!
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to be here.
Oh, our pleasure.
Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for having us.
George.
Yeah. Hi, Amy. How are you doing? It's
long.
so good to see you.
It's so good to see
How long
you.
has it been, Amy?
I think it's been decades. It's been decades, but I can't believe this is what you do now. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard more than 4 words out of your mouth.
Let's see Star Wars. Those are my favorite 4 words, by the way.
And we used to go on vacations together.
Yeah.
You had a tradition with
Hawaii.
Steven. I was married to Steven Spielberg.
But my buddy
and-
Steve.
Yeah, and every time a Raiders film opened,
Yeah.
you guys had a tradition. You want to tell me about?
Yeah,
the
we would
tradition?
go to Hawaii just in case, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He's good.
Well, I don't remember everything, but I remember.
Do you? Go.
Yeah, we'd make sandcastles.
You made sandcastles.
Yeah.
You guys look so silly out there.
Oh,
too.
you know who cares about looking silly, right?
Okay, but
Not me.
do you remember that one flight with your girlfriend on the private Warner Brothers jet?
Wait, what year are we talking?
I don't do
This wasn't
years.
Marsha.
I don't do
Not
years.
Marsha?
No, it wasn't Marsha.
Linda
This was after
Ronstadt.
You'd
Marsha.
already divorced Marsha.
Okay.
Was it Linda Ronstadt?
Was it Linda?
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
It was Linda Ronstadt,
Yeah.
but I have to tell everybody
Yes.
on the
Spill.
airplane. It was a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
You never stopped sucking face with her.
George! Oh my gosh! A voice.
Remember?
Yeah. And my biographer said I was sexually unadventurous.
I think the word was unimaginative.
Unimaginative. Well, yeah.
It doesn't take that much imagination to suck face.
For 6 hours.
That takes commitment.
Yeah,
It
you're
takes
right.
stamina.
And you remember who else was on that plane?
Oh, no, I was focused.
No, you remember who else was
Who
on
else
that
was on
plane?
the plane?
Amanda.
Your daughter,
Yeah,
George?
right? Yeah, my
Your
daughter.
daughter,
Your
who was
daughter,
like very confused.
No.
Kids have to learn these things. Kissing is part of life.
George!
I'm not ashamed to teach my kids that kissing is important.
Oh my God.
Did you not do any kissing on that flight? I don't remember. I think were we the only kissers on the plane?
Yeah.
Me and Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it was awkward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an awkward kisser. Imagine how it felt for Linda.
I think she was enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is so touching to watch because I'm realizing in real time this is like a family reunion for you and
It really
George.
is. It really is.
You were his buddy-in-law.
Yeah.
But I really didn't know him at all.
Well, none of us do. That's the real secret.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot of experiences together. But enough about me. Let's talk about Michael.
more about
No, I don't know. I'm just here to
No, we
listen.
definitely need more
Yeah.
of these. What was the tell us more about the relationship with
This is
George.
like so.
Was that
not-
the only time you saw me like that? Or was I constantly
mean
like
kissing?
kissing? Yeah, kissing.
Well, then we'd go to dinner, and you guys were really amorous.
Make a meal of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen and I used to like stand on a balcony looking down at the beach, and you'd still be on the beach doing it. We just couldn't believe
Yeah.
that you were breathing. We
Yeah.
just were worried about
Wow,
it.
George.
I bet Steve was probably like framing it up, like
Oh, we have.
where would I put the camera?
We have movies.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is great that we're sharing like this. Because it's something we haven't explored that much on the show. I don't think we've ever talked about how much I love to kiss.
No, I don't think that's ever come up.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm almost surprised. It feels like this has never been represented
Yeah.
in any of our
It seems like it's a
conversations.
big part of your life.
I mean, on the show, I'm so focused on the microphone.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I never kiss the mic. That's
Don't.
right. I don't kiss the
Don't.
mic.
Yeah.
Because it's bad for sound and it's bad for the equipment.
Yeah.
But a human face? Yes. I'll kiss.
I don't like that you're making direct eye contact with me while you say that.
I'd kiss you,
Patrick, get
Patrick.
back
I'd
on your
kiss
belly.
Do not
anybody
like
here.
You've never
Huh?
kissed anyone on the show. You never kissed on the show.
Have I ever kissed on the show? I don't
No,
think I have.
I can't think of one time you kissed
Oh
on
my
it.
Yeah, it's not a
God.
kissing show.
Yeah!
Is that okay, honey?
Now I can think of one time.
I can think of one. There's one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Look, Amy's instincts are very right. She's being very generous. That, of course, we have 3 great guests on this stage, and we should talk to everyone. Michael, what was the last time you saw George Lucas kiss someone? What's your experience in that field?
The last time I saw George Lucas kiss somebody was I was on this plane.
Okay.
Linda Ronstadt.
Michael. No, you can't. Michael, you couldn't have been. You're.
Do you think Linda's watching?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because she's gonna be furious.
No.
Because of what you just did.
No, I'm not with Linda anymore. I'm with Melody.
I don't think they're together anymore.
George is married now. His
Yeah,
wife is the one we should be worried
And she's
about.
cool.
Does Melody watch George?
Sometimes. Not all the live streams. It gets a bit much. But yeah,
It's shocking how little Melody comes up.
I know.
Yeah.
We rarely discuss your wife.
Out of respect.
Sure, I get it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be
She's-
associated with the show.
She's more of a Mary Houlihan's painting party person, right? That's her vibe.
Yeah.
So you know who else I kissed?
Who?
Barbra Streisand, and you know who did an amazing one-man show
Don't make this
about
about me.
Barbra
Yes.
Streisand.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know who it was
don't make
such
this
a
about
great
me. I'm
show.
not the
Tell-
subject.
tell me about you.
You
No,
were
it-
married. You were married to both Steven Spielberg and Barbra Streisand. That's got to be. You got to be the only person that's true for.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
You did, of course, you did the show, The Buyer and Seller, about Barbra Streisand's private basement mall.
Yeah, let's take it down.
Let's take it
down.
Take it down.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe the most fascinating place on earth.
Yeah, Barbra Streisand. In real life, Barbra Streisand
Yes.
built a shopping mall in her basement to keep. This isn't a joke. To keep her collectibles. There's a doll
Right.
shop, a dress shop, an antique store, a gift shoppy, and a sweets shop
Yes.
where there is a frozen yogurt machine. This is all true. I've never been there. I've never been invited. I'm sure I'm banned.
You're on a list.
I'm-
You're on
Yeah,
some
your
list.
photo.
I
Your
have
photo
lists,
is
yeah.
behind the register.
And we did an off-Broadway production of this play in which a guy is hired to work there. He's
Yes.
solely fictional. The story is totally fictional, but the mall is real. And Jonathan Tollins imagined someone got hired to work there.
So,
and
no, I have many questions.
yeah,
So
please.
you've never been in real life, but I imagine you work on this show for years. It gets a lot of coverage. You were saying even backstage you did a live stream of it for Broadway Cares during the pandemic.
Right.
This show's gotten a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Have people come to you and been like, "I was there. Here's the scoop."
Yeah.
You've gotten intel from
Oh, yeah.
the real mall.
Yeah. No, I've talked to a lot of people who were there.
Yeah.
And they think that it's a lot of people think that it's real. That somebody did get hired to work down there.
Well,
and
this is
they've
my number one
escaped.
question.
Yeah.
Is like, because the root of the thing, as it's sort of been explained, is that like Barbra missed being able to shop. Right? She owns all this stuff. She could put it around her house on display. What she misses is being a common person who could go to a store and browse.
Because she can't do that.
She
'cause
can't do that.
She's her, yeah.
So she's created this experience, and I always have these questions of like, are there employees who are just there in the basement all day, and maybe for 3 weeks, 4 months, no one comes downstairs?
She forgets about it.
Right, it's just it's
Yeah.
not an everyday activity,
Yeah.
maybe. And also, like, are there multiple sizes of things? Like, is there a pile of sweaters and she's looking for a small and she's like, I can only find a medium in here, and they're like, let's check in the back. Like, how much of the experience needs to
Right.
be, you know?
Right.
What have you found, heard from people who have been there?
Well, everyone says that she gives tours, so you go and you
Okay.
visit, and she gives you a tour. She'll make the froyo for you. She'll,
Oh my
she'll,
God.
serve the soft serve.
Yeah.
But I have not heard of anybody actually working there. But I have heard from employees of hers from the years who've come and they've said this is exactly what it's like.
Really? Okay.
And-
but there are no, like, designated mall employees.
As far as I
basically.
know, there are not.
Right. No one's taking a shift just to work there.
No.
But if you're a dessert chef, maybe you
Yeah.
got to stock the shelf at some point.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
somebody must go clean
Yeah.
down there because
Yeah.
it must collect. There must be dust and
Yeah.
things to tend to. But as far as I know, no one tends to the shopping center
Okay.
of it. It's more of like a clean. But in the play, it's this wonderful adventure that this guy goes on with her, and she comes and shops and tries to buy her own things
Yeah.
in the play and haggle over prices
Yeah.
and as far as I know, she hasn't seen it.
Okay.
She never came to see the play.
Yeah.
She
She
never-
weirdly watches this regularly. She emails us like after every show. And it's like, didn't love that bit, thought that was funny. Yeah.
18
just so
hours
you know.
this week? That's what she usually says.
Little short
That was a
for my
little long,
taste.
guys.
Oh.
But Amy came to see the play when we did it, as did lots of other people who were Barbra Streisand adjacent. And they all had very nice things to say, and they were all.
Enthralled. It's a great show.
Does the play still live in
You're
your
great in
head?
it.
Like, do you know it? If you had to do it tonight, could you do it?
I could probably do it. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I did it like more than 600 times, and so I have it. It's kind of in there forever, I think.
Yeah. I mean, when you like doing something, you want to do it for as long as you can.
Like kissing.
Yeah. I think that's weird. That's normal. That's normal.
Stop looking at me. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's interesting, the idea of when you reach a certain, there are people like someone like Barbra Streisand. Once you become a legend, once you can't be normal anymore, that you make an effort to do something to be more normal. But just because of the way you have to do it, it actually makes you less normal. Like that's a normal thing for people who are not normal.
But I mean, George, you were in a very similar situation to that for decades, like Skywalker Ranch. Now you're not living there full time, but like you lived on a ranch surrounded by your employees that was also a workplace for people.
Right.
It had a restaurant and a gift shop and
Fire station.
Right.
Yeah.
All of this
And
stuff.
now, instead of buying a storage locker, I've built a giant museum in the middle of LA.
Yes.
And now that's where my poster collection will go.
Can I show off my shirt?
What?
My shirt's related to your
Yeah, show
museum.
off your shirt.
It's Bring the Noise, who is in the theater tonight. It says Mona, Lucas Museum of Narrative Art coming 2025, probably.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
He's had another delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you like museums?
As an idea, yeah. Not.
No, real museums.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Not every one, but
No,
like,
no, not all museums.
general.
But yeah.
absolutely.
What's
Yeah.
one you don't like?
This is important. Like
There's
we,
this
we
one-
can figure out how to tailor the museum
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
your generation more.
Well,
based on this
it's
info.
interesting. You know, I like a museum that's interactive.
Uh-huh.
That said, there's one in the city called Mo Math. Have you guys heard about this?
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, a couple big Mo Math supporters. It's like it is interactive, and I appreciate that, but it's all about kind of doing math problems the whole time. And I wish that I didn't have to do math at the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like a math museum. That feels like a very relatable thing to say.
Yeah.
I feel like you got most of the audience with you on that.
I mean, thank you.
Yeah. What do you like more than math? Like, what would you like a museum of? If you could make a museum, what would it be?
I don't know if art.
Art museum?
Concept.
Classic.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of art, that's a transition. I want to know about Ratatouille the musical.
Thank you.
You're one of the stars.
Thank you so much.
During the pandemic, this became a very big thing
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what it's like to do something that, because everyone involved, like, you don't have the rights to that. That's Disney. That's Disney IP.
Yeah, even Disney barely has the rights to like that musical. Like it's,
They
it was a
don't,
whole
but it was
thing.
it was kind of like it was a rebellion that rose up in a way because
Yes.
you all just. It was just a mass, like a hive mind.
It was like a
created.
collaborative crowdsourced.
That's right.
Piecemeal, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
You maybe should explain the origin of the thing for people who
Sure.
don't know.
Yeah. I've as briefly as possible. Basically, one person one day, this woman Emily Jacobson saw an ad for the Ratatouille ride, and this song came into her head that you probably heard is "Remy the Ratatouille, the rat of all our dreams." She put it on TikTok, and it went viral. And somebody made like an orchestral version of it. It was like, "This is the end of Act 1 of Ratatouille the musical." Ha 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 ha. Slowly enough, like another kid writes a song, and another kid writes a song, and all of a sudden, all these TikTokers are like writing these songs for a theoretical Ratatouille, the TikTok musical.
And her video was like her with like a chipmunk voice filter
That's right.
over a image of a toy rabbit.
Yeah,
Remy.
it was like a montage of pictures of Remy from
Right.
the movie, as though she was like in love with the rat.
But then it starts like getting to people like you who are like professional actors,
Yeah.
performers, and musicians and whatever, acting it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And
Now it starts to become theatrical.
that was the, and
Right.
people were making sets like on TikTok. Like somebody made like a mock-up of a set, and like people were fully orchestrating these numbers, and it had like I think the hashtag had well over 100 million views on TikTok. Like it was this really really big deal, and it came to me because a friend of mine who was on TikTok was like, if I wrote a song for the Ratatouille TikTok, by the way, everybody my whole life, look at me right now and think about the guy from Ratatouille. Like, everybody said that to me my whole life, that I look like the guy from Ratatouille, the human being from
You
Ratatouille.
try to avoid wearing hats in general.
Yeah. And so he was like, if I wrote a song for the Linguini, by the way, Alfredo Linguini is the name of the character.
Subtle.
It's a French movie, and it's a very Italian name. But he was like, if I wrote a song for this character, would you sing it on TikTok? I was like, yes, of course, it's the pandemic. And so I sing this song. I'm like, it does okay.
And I'll say, I saw your video. I missed the first wave maybe of this thing happening. And I found out about it right about when your video hit. And it did feel like, is this a filter? Is someone putting a filter on them to look more like the character from... But even just down to your mannerisms, you were so you're like, yes, this is who they would cast.
Yeah, I also had never done I don't know why I would have tried. I had never done the voice. I had never been trying to do an impression of the character. And when he sent me the song, I just all of a sudden was like, hey, and I was like, oh my god, it's in me. I was born to do this. And we posted and nothing happens, and then I get an email from my contact at what was the Actors Fund, what is now the Entertainment Community Fund, saying the subject line was Ratatouille the musical, and the body of the email said, I'm sure this subject of the email caught your eye. Please call me. And then what happened was we made an hour-long actual thing of Ratatouille the musical. Everybody from their own homes. It was Titus Burgess, Andre DeShields, Ashley Park, Mary Testa. There's more names I'm forgetting. It was this crazy.
Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert was the brother rat who eats too much. Yeah, Meal. Yeah.
Typecasting.
Wayne Brady was the dad rat. It was crazy. And it was just we had a month to do it because Disney was this is the day that you can do this. They approved it, but they were you have 1 day that you can stream this. And it has to be a benefit for something. So that's why it was for the Actors Fund. And
what do you think would happen if you'd done 2 days?
There's Mickey Mouse would have been outside my personal door. No, I don't know. They were very supportive, but since then we haven't been able to do a cast recording or anything like that because they're
Right.
that's not our
As
musical.
you said, it's such a weird situation though, because it's people basically demanded this into existence, but also
Right.
we're all doing the work themselves and so spread out that you're well, the underlying rights to Ratatouille are owned by Disney, but everything about this was made by an amount of people that's almost hard to track at this point.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do it legitimately, it would be too many people.
Right.
It's already cost prohibitive.
But you know what, Andrew? I'll say this. Chapek's gone. It's time to go back.
I wonder if Iger knows
I bet
about
he does, and I
Ratatouille the
bet you
musical.
should go back right about-
Iger knows. That guy keeps his finger on the pulse. You're not gonna get one over on him.
I guess we both kind of had things stolen from us
guy
by
fucking tricked me
Disney.
out of Star Wars. This guy, he doesn't miss a beat. He's got Radio Lammers. He's got Indiana Jones. He's got it all.
Wow.
He tricked me out of my TV show. I made a whole TV show. You won't release it.
Star Wars Detours.
36 episodes.
36
39.
episodes. I've watched a lot of
39.
it, by the way. The clips that are on YouTube.
Star
that,
Wars
still exist,
Detours?
I've watched a lot of Star Wars Detours.
Write your congressperson. They're trying to ban TikTok. All TikTok ever did was the Ratatouille musical. Congress should not ban TikTok. They should force the release of Detours.
Right. And you'll put it on TikTok. You don't care where it is.
I don't
right?
care.
It's
Yeah.
definitely on TikTok. People put full episodes of TV shows on TikTok now.
I know a lot of it's on Google Drive.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Play your cards, or you might get a link at the end of this show.
I would love absolutely.
I know for a
nothing more,
fact
George.
there are some people who went on a boat ride in international waters about a year ago, and they showed a whole episode.
And that has never been said publicly
No,
till
that's
right
never been
now.
said publicly.
Yeah. It don't matter. You can bleep it on the YouTube.
And I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we became
Sorry.
real pirates of the Caribbean.
Wow.
In a media piracy kind
Media
of
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
Let's
Yes,
talk,
George.
Let's talk about your new album.
Yeah. So, thank you.
You've made a record.
I made a record, yes, and it's coming out on April 7th. It's called Born in a Trunk.
And your album release party is?
Thank you, April 10th,
April
City
10th.
Winery. My son Gabriel Barreto is a music manager, and he manages this terrific group called Goulis, and he convinced me to cut an album with them, and we did, and we're having a really good time with it.
What's the origin of the name Goulis? Because I like that name. I would name a character Goulis.
Well, he's here.
That's the most Star Wars
his-
thing I've ever heard you
His
say.
name, the name of our band leader is Jules David Bartkowski, and
That's
when
how
he-
I make up weird names too. I'll take someone's real name and I'll
No,
Star
but when
Wars
he
I say.
was, what country were you in? He was in Egypt, and
Egypt.
he was working, and they were not pronouncing his name, Jules, correctly. They called him Goulis.
Yeah.
So that's how his band became Goulis.
I like it. Goulis.
That's a good Star Wars name.
That's great.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, but now they can't use it. They can't. If they try to use it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ratatouille,
last
the
name?
musical rules.
It's all for
What would
sure.
the last name be of Goulis? And like what species
Well,
would they
what's
go
your
with?
last name? We're just gonna fully dox you. What's your last name?
Right, I do. N and then a little apostrophe and an OH.
There it is.
Goulis, no. I am Goulis, no.
What species are you picturing in your head when you do that?
Butaro. Doesn't matter. It's all made up
It's a
stuff.
new one.
Yeah,
None of this is real.
nothing.
Star Wars.
Star Wars ain't real, folks. Yeah. So Goulis was your band,
Goulis is our band.
but they're not like the E Street Band. It's not. You don't have Amy Irving and Goulis like on the.
No, the album is just my own.
It's a solo album, but they're
It's a-
the backing
They're my
band.
band.
They're your
They're
band.
my band, and he's my leader. He's my band leader. He's my musical director. He's my everything.
Oh. And
Yeah,
the songs that you selected for this.
Well, my husband and I picked 10 songs from my career, my life, my family, my escapades, all that sort of thing. So it's a very eclectic group of songs, and then Jules did new arrangements for all of them. Willie Nelson wrote a song for me, which he sings on the album with me. It's called I'm Waiting Forever for You.
Oh.
And we do from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I am actually the singing voice of Jessica Rabbit in real life.
That's right.
So Jules did another, thank you. And that single is already available. It's out there somewhere.
What's the preferred format for it? Because we live in a world where there's streaming music. Only digital.
Only
Will there be
digital.
will there be a vinyl pressing at some point?
Maybe, if you guys buy enough records.
What can people do to make sure that it happens?
What, vinyl pressing?
Yeah.
Come to the show. You go to the show, but you order 8 months ahead of the Dell.
Right. All right. Yeah. So your favorite streaming service, is there a way people can really support? People need to support it on social media.
Or Apple Music.
Tidal.
Title.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp's great for
Bandcamp.
artists. Yeah.
I should know these things, shouldn't
Yeah.
I?
Yeah.
And because if people are like, I don't want to just like click and send a few pennies her way. I want to do Bandcamp. You can donate whatever you like. So if there's like a billionaire in the audience, they could just be like, $1 million, give me one.
I mean, there's one in the audience for sure.
There's one on the stage for sure.
I'm looking at him.
I'm not in the audience,
Yes,
Patrick. That's the
George.
number one thing a producer needs to know is where's the audience and what is the show. Like, you can't be sitting there on the floor tripping out like everyone's the audience.
If you were higher up, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
boy.
might be the low
Amy.
altitude.
Amy.
This
Yeah.
guy's just lounging around like a bug in the rug. It's insane. He doesn't know he's on the clock. This guy's never seen a chair before. What the fuck is this?
I mean, it's not comfortable. It's not.
Okay,
me.
well, what would be the most comfortable thing for you right now? Because I can't imagine that stool was comfortable.
It was okay.
That's
What would be the most? I mean, it's probably this guy.
it's not even a conversation.
No,
Patrick.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
non-star
Yeah.
But you asked.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I
I
know.
did, and then I answered it myself.
Yeah.
Well, I love the single because it's a very different
Oh, thank you.
interpretation. I think there are some people, because depending on how recently you've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, might hear the song and not necessarily.
Money 1922. That's how Jessica does it, but with Jules' arrangement, it's more upbeat.
Yeah, it's great. At bare minimum, let me pitch this. A vinyl single with, this is already expensive, a vinyl single with the Roger Rabbit version on the B-side, but then you got a license.
Well,
and all
George,
this
you
stuff.
gonna produce this for us?
I mean, that's a conversation.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Sure.
Here's another.
More features on the next record.
Oh,
Yeah.
George.
Oh, happy to say.
George.
Happy to let these pipes. That's right.
Well, here's another pitch. We released a vinyl. You should do a new vinyl album, George, with all these new songs. We have our vinyl soundtrack here. George is pulling it out, I think.
Maybe. Wow. Look at this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I was clapping. They can't have it. It's mine.
No, I just have another pitch of a thing that would be fun to do. When you're doing the show at City Winery for the
Yes.
album release,
Yes.
maybe when you sing Why Don't You Do Right, have Betty Boop come out and sell cigarettes.
She
It
does.
would be fun. That's what I'm saying.
She
Have
does.
the little cartoon penguins.
I
the
do
way
it
you-
as Betty Boop.
Oh.
Good.
Did you get to meet Betty Boop?
I've met everybody,
Oh,
clearly.
okay, great.
Now, Michael, you just worked with my buddy Harrison. Yeah. Everyone seen Shrinking on Apple TV Plus? What was his mood like?
Yeah, it's the icon.
Shrinking.
What was his mood like?
He was awesome. He was amiably cranky.
Yeah.
He loved being around. He loved working. He loves like making people laugh and making jokes. But he does like also to pretend to be cranky.
Yeah.
He likes people to be.
He likes to
like,
lean into
Yeah.
it.
Does he smoke a lot of dope?
Not on set.
But
But I do think that happens. I do think that's the thing.
it helps with the crankiness.
And I think he's also got he's got a real friend in tequila as well.
Now, something I noticed on the show did not wear the earring.
No earring. No, and he didn't wear it in real life either. I don't think he does
Okay,
that anymore.
maybe it's gone.
I think the earring is gone.
Okay.
Probably lost in one of those plane crashes. Think about how hard, if you're like, and you're just looking around. Impossible. Impossible. It's gone.
I missed the wreckage.
It's gone.
It's gone.
At one
Yeah.
point, well, we were shooting last summer when I don't know if you remember, but the gas prices went really, really high. And at one point, Jason Segel, who's on the show, said, "Hey, Harrison, has it been tough for you to fly because of these gas prices?" And Harrison goes, "Ha!"
Yeah.
Got some
You
money.
know, I really like what you did when the first Star Wars came out, and it made so much money. And even though your actors didn't have it in their contract, he just gave them all a point, which at that moment, when it first came out, was worth $1 million.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it? Yeah.
He doesn't give us
That was
anything.
very generous of
We
you.
get
Nobody
nothing.
does that, George.
I know.
You didn't even know you did that, did
No,
you?
I know. I did it on American Graffiti too.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're a good man.
Yeah. And yeah, notoriously generous.
Clearly.
How far down the line did that point go? Like, who got the point? Was it just
No
the-
bot, get the point.
No.
Because I gotta think first, movie.
No, I think
Tarkin? Did Tarkin? I'm
Ponte
trying to think
Baba
of,
get the point.
I'm trying to think of the lowest main character in that first movie.
Tarkin is like basically fourth lead of that movie.
Yeah. I think
Uncle
I
Owen?
think I could be wrong about this. I think there was a point where Tarkin said, "Can I take my shoes off during the shots?" And I said, "You can, but it's going to cost you." Yeah. And so he took his shoes off whenever he's walking around on the carpeting of the Death Star.
But you might be wrong about that.
I could be.
What you just said.
Yeah. I could be. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
I've
sure.
given out so many points. And Patrick, how dare you say that? You get a share. You get a cut of the poster money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I have 25 points in the George Lucas talk show.
That's right.
It amounts to about 25 cents per show.
Yeah. Well, we don't do this show for the money,
No, we don't. We do it for the love.
but for the love.
For the love. We got 3 hoofers on stage.
3 hoofers.
3 hoofers.
3 hoofers.
3 hoofers.
Wait, I think your count is off.
You think my count is off?
I think we got more than 3 hoofers on stage.
I'm saying the guess. These
Oh.
are 3 people who've treaded the boards.
See, Patrick, you have Watto confused about who is on stage and who is not.
I'm sorry.
All 3 of our guests.
That's right. 3 guests, all hoofers.
All hoofers.
I thought hoofers
Oops, all
was
hoofers.
dancers.
Yeah, hoofers is dancers.
Does that mean we have
nope.
to dance?
It doesn't mean
Doesn't mean you
I wanna
have
be
Doesn't mean
clear.
you have to dance.
if you are identified as a hoofer publicly, it does not mean you have to dance.
No.
I'm not a hoofer.
You don't
Have you
dance?
never done a stage musical?
No. Well, I did, but I didn't dance.
No.
You
didn't dance
did
once?
Me
Did you
neither.
do some rhythmic stepping?
Oh, I've done some rhythmic
I
stepping.
bet you have.
You've definitely done some rhythmic
I
stepping.
have danced.
You've danced.
Yes.
When did you dance?
I danced extremely hard. I went Tony-nominated choreography in How to Succeed in Business
yes.
Without Really Trying.
Yeah?
It was very challenging.
You tried very hard.
I tried very hard.
Yes.
It was the hardest part of the job, actually, was the dancing. Really challenging.
But it makes you a
dancing.
triple threat.
It means I'm a triple threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it means that I'm a Broadway dancer.
Yeah. How's your point?
It's fantastic. You
Fantastic.
can't really tell there, but
Wow.
I'm wearing these
How's your
snowshoes, but
turnout?
Turnout's great.
All right.
Hard to do here.
Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah. Great.
It's phenomenal. I'm a Broadway dancer.
Yeah. Do you say I'm a Broadway dancer? Do you say that? kind of thing?
Absolutely not.
You don't say that?
No, I didn't dance. I've never danced on
You
Broadway.
did
and I
Evan
don't
Hansen.
plan
That's
on-
not very a dance.
It's not a dance-heavy show. There's some squatting that was some difficult. Honestly, sometimes I had to go to physical therapy.
Yeah.
But no dancing. No dancing.
And at Ratatouille, there was no dancing. And I guess it was
There,
so
you know what?
tight.
Now that
Tight.
you mention it, there's a bit of I'm really
Stage
moving.
movement, stage
moving.
movement.
I was kind of the only person outside of the ensemble. Eleanor Scott, who's an amazing choreographer, sent me like a video. The way this whole thing worked is she sent me a video like, "Hi, Andrew. Here's what you should do in this number." And it was just a video. I didn't talk to her one time. I just met her for the first time like a month ago. And it's just me like kind of dancing as though the rat is controlling me. So it's like a lot of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't call it dancing. So no, I'm not a dancer for sure.
One hoofer on the stage.
One hoofer in its
Okay, so
area.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Amy, you did Yentl, a movie musical, but not a lot of dancing. Which
And
musical?
only Barbara got to sing.
No one else got to see.
Mandy
Yeah.
Patinkin was really pissed.
Oh, let's hear it.
Let's hear about it.
What would be? Do you remember any choice phrases that Mandy might have said? Were you there when he found out no singing from Mandy?
You know how he talks about grumpy?
Oh.
He was grumpy.
Yeah.
I don't remember any words.
like this.
I mean, Amy, you're also in a movie that has one of the most
His voice
famous
came out of the-
ending dance scenes that takes place at a dance. Carrie ends at a dance.
I wouldn't,
My
Patrick.
character would never
does not
dance
dance. Oh,
at the
famously
dance.
does not dance.
Yeah,
She was
also,
home.
there's a big difference between saying it ends at the dance and calling it one of movies,
you're a
cinema's
hoofer.
most famous dance scenes.
Yeah.
You say that, people think Fred Astaire, not
Also,
someone having a nervous breakdown.
Also, it doesn't end at a dance. It ends at a grave.
That's
I guess
true.
that's true. I guess that's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
You know, Brian De Palma.
I know him. Yeah, we're buddies.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Actually, you and Brian,
Yeah.
when they were doing, trying to find the cast for Star Wars
Yeah.
and for Carrie at the same time,
Yeah.
Brian was a little bit better about talking to people than you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll cop
So
to that.
they
But I made
joined-
Star Wars, let's be honest.
Yeah. They
That's
joined.
sort of a way of talking to everybody.
The world's
Good enough.
largest conversation.
Yeah. The world.
Anyway,
But we
during you
shared
you-
auditions.
You shared auditions. So the two of them were there, and every young actor in town came out and met George and Brian. And it was pretty
Yeah.
terrifying. And then we all did those who were narrowed down, we did screen tests. I did a screen test for Carrie first, and Brian offered me Carrie. But then he said, I want you to do the screen test for Star Wars because it's going to be a huge film. I don't know how he knew.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah. And he actually helped me with the audition.
Yeah.
And there was this script where I had to say, it was like a foreign language, C3PO R2D2. I was like, I had no idea what I was saying, but you just had to memorize it like you memorize Italian, and you say it. And,
Linguini.
Now, Amy, we do have a clip from it.
We have
Yeah.
a clip.
Should we show it?
Yeah, let's see it.
I'm really bad at it.
All the data banks in R2 are. Sorry, can I start right again?
Yeah, take it again.
All the data banks in R2 are still secure.
Then I think we ought to start talking about the reward. Better be a good one, too, after all that I've been through.
When R2 has been safely delivered to my forces, you'll get your reward. You have my guarantee.
What's that little droid carrying anyway? So blasted important to you.
The plans and specifications to a battle station with enough firepower to destroy an entire system. Our only hope in destroying it is to find its weakness, which we will determine from the data in the R2. We captured the plans in a raid on the Imperial shipyards. I fell under attack before I could get it to safety. So I hid it in this R2 unit and sent them off.
Where are you taking us now, anyway?
The fourth moon of Yavin. I've given the coordinates to Chewbacca.
They let us go. They're tracking us right now. They're gonna find your bases, and then they're gonna destroy the whole system.
I know they're following. And they'll bring the Death Star. But our only hope is to destroy it before it destroys us.
Did
I
I
had
invent
these
Mumblecore?
With the Death Star, they will continue to destroy systems till they found us. Our own
I'd give the role to Carrie Fisher if I were you.
I'll tell you.
12,
I'll
take
tell you.
5, camera roll 2.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah, I think we
great.
can stop.
It really amazing.
The actor's name is Christopher Allport. Was his name Christopher Allport? That was his
Allport?
name. Yes.
And he didn't get the role either.
No.
Look, you're being self-effacing about this, but I will say you did a better job delivering Star Wars dialogue than 90% of actors who are in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I bought that. I fully bought that.
Thank you.
I will say, I think it's a fantastic audition.
So,
What?
what happened?
We went another way.
So
Let me say this. A couple of things I noticed.
I'm gonna get notes now?
Yeah, I'm gonna note. One thing, you were really in love with those the armrests. Like you were holding on to those like you were about to fall out of the spaceship. But
Brian told me I would fall out if I didn't hold on.
yeah, but I really liked every time you mentioned the R2 unit. You kind of perked up like you were so thrilled that you remembered. You're like, I put the plans in the R2 unit. That the pride of having memorized essentially meaningless noises.
Gibberish.
And then repeat them like, I stored the plans in the R2 unit.
George,
Yeah.
you can't reject me for the role and then mock me.
No, I'm celebrating what I think is a very good on-tape audition, and I think you were being held back a little bit by a very relaxed take on Han Solo.
Very subdued.
A very kind of like, more like Harrison when he's in his happy place. You know what I mean? Like very like. So what are we gonna do with this? Just a very because that's not you know, and sometimes it just is that the energy of the scene partner kind of dictates a little bit. Because I thought you were very feisty and very commanding, and it looked like you were knowledgeable, and that's everything that Leia needs to be.
You know, if you'd only given me some of that direction at the time.
George, for the record, is great with actors. He gives very good, very specific, very playable notes. It just takes
Faster and more intense.
Well, if you want something more detailed than that, sometimes it takes 45 years for him to find the words. He does find them eventually.
Yeah, and you know they keep making Star Wars. You know you can still get in one. Don't give up. Don't give up on Star Wars. Star Wars won't give up on you. That's
from George's mouth.
That's
you guys,
right.
it's all there.
Yeah. I don't have any say in it anymore. But I booked you on this show. That's gotta mean something.
This actually, since I didn't really know your show, I'm sorry, George.
That's okay.
I didn't know it at all.
That's okay.
And my son Gabriel came to me and he said, "You know, Mom, one day my other son Max asked for one favor, and that was for me to do Carrie 2." Well, that was a big mistake. And then, so when he asked me to come here, he was like, "You know, you did give Max Carrie 2."
Yeah.
And not to pat ourselves on the back, but this is better than Carrie 2.
I'll say this. As someone,
Much.
as someone who
I'm
watched
thrilled.
Carrie 2 last week in
No,
prep for
I'm
this,
The rage!
this is better than Carrie 2.
I've never even seen it.
Look, you got a. I'll say this: you got a spoiler. You got a cool death scene.
Hat trick!
I died the minute I said yes.
Well, and the surprises don't end there, because we have something, and we don't even fully understand what this is exactly.
No.
But we know that it's
Oh,
real.
Sure.
We know that it's real. I have.
A check for $1 million.
I mean, you're so close.
It's a lower amount.
You're so close. I have a check made out to Amy Irving Productions Incorporated, FSO, for the services of Amy Irving, for $50 from 1984. This is an authentic check. Purchased off of eBay.
Oh, not yet.
Here, I'll give it to you. Maybe you can make sense of it. I think it might have been dealt with by business people, so it might have already been cashed. See, isn't that something? But
You paid $12.84 for it.
that's nothing. I don't regret paying almost $13 for this piece of paper from 1984.
I don't understand.
That was a check that was made out to you in
Yeah.
1984.
But what is I
From-
buy
from
autographs
Warner
and signed
Brothers.
books sold to Connor Ratliff.
I don't know who that is.
Never heard of it.
There's a bunch of names on there
Yeah.
because it's.
You know, you're spending too much time on the internet.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a check from Warner Brothers. I assume it's probably
It's a payroll check out of Burbank.
Right, probably a residuals check.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's signed by Ralph Peterson. Does that name mean anything to you? Maybe business affairs at the Bros.
Is it still good?
Is it? Yeah. Has it been signed on the back?
It says it's
endorsed?
never been endorsed.
Okay. Well, you could still cash it.
Yeah.
$50 ain't nothing. It's certainly a lot more than almost $13.
Yeah. And by the way, $50, that's enough to deposit, pay him back his 13, pocket over 25 yourself. We're all coming out of this ahead.
Anyway, should we give this to Gabe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
George, we got something from an audience member. From Moises.
What do we got? Oh, right.
Yeah, I feel like we
Yeah.
should. Oh, stop it.
Oh, yeah. This is an original video of Star Wars. So this is the original version. We destroy these on the show. I don't have the Mickey knife because I don't have any utensils.
What happened to the Mickey knife?
The Mickey knife's doing whatever it wants tonight.
Why are you, George? Why are you doing that?
Oh, because this is a rough cut that we released in theaters in 1977. It's a work print. Only, funny story, only work print of a movie ever to get nominated for Best Picture.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
No, I mean the cocktail's called Everything's Fine. Get me another one, please.
Now, Andrew, you have a movie to plug. You have a movie coming out. It's
That's
is
right.
It a raunchy comedy?
It's a raunchy comedy.
It's about sex.
It's a raunchy sex comedy.
Any kissing?
Yeah.
There's a little there. Well,
How many hours worth of kissing?
no spoilers. There's some kissing. How many hours worth of kissing is there in the movie? I'd say there's probably 25 seconds worth of kissing in the movie. Maybe less. How many hours worth of kissing did I do for those 25 seconds?
Yeah.
Multiple takes.
I would say cumulatively, maybe a minute and a half.
Nice work if you can get it.
That's pretty good.
Thank
Jennifer
you so much.
Lawrence?
I don't know. You'll have to see the movie to find out. I'm not going to spoil it.
Do we want to?
Thank you,
Can we bring? What's the movie called? It's
Called No Hard Feelings.
Now that okay, that's a joke.
That's a joke.
There's a joke in the title. I don't like to. Sometimes you over-explain comedy. No hard feelings, but that's a reference to your character
Yeah.
and sexual feeling,
Right.
like
Right.
erection.
It's there. There's a double meaning there.
Yeah.
For sure.
No
So you're
hard.
impotent?
Andrew, answer the question, Andrew.
I don't think well, okay, speaking for myself and the character, no.
Okay.
The movie's not about impotency. It's about a woman played by Jennifer Lawrence who needs a car very badly. She's an Uber driver. Her car gets towed because she's not paying her property taxes on time. She needs a car to make money. She finds a Craigslist ad from these parents saying, we've got this antisocial son. He's about to go to college. He's never dated anybody. We're very worried about him. Please fuck our son and we'll give you a Buick.
What a nice role for you.
And I'm said antisocial son, and it's
Excellent.
a lot of fun. It's a really, really
And you got
great
two good
movie.
parents too.
It's Matthew Broderick and Laura Benanti.
Two
Imagine.
good parents.
It's all these Broadway people.
We're a little Jewish Broadway family. It's remarkable. It's like, it was crazy being on set with Matthew Broderick. He plays my dad. We were on set together for like 2 days.
Let's bring the trailer up without sound while we keep talking
Yes.
so people can see. Is that possible, Patrick?
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Is that possible,
Now-
Max?
Yeah,
Now-
so you can get a
Wow,
visual.
you know,
Thanks.
Patrick, when I say something like that, like, let's make something happen.
Well, it's not up to me. It's up to the.
Produce the video, Patrick. Andrew,
Yeah.
last 10 years, I'd say about, have been a little rough for the big screen comedy.
That's
it feels
right.
like a genre that really shifted over to TV and to stream.
That's the movie. Spread it around.
Shifted over to TV and to streaming.
Absolutely.
And everything became very franchise-based and like global grosses, where comedy tends to be very specific and regional in a lot of ways and whatever. And then I think the pandemic really like pushed people away from like that's never going to be in theaters ever again. And this trailer came out. It's so funny.
Thank you.
And I saw so many people saying like, is this, knock on wood, is this the thing that's going to get people to remember how great it is to go see a comedy in theaters and laugh? So no fucking pressure, but it's all on you, right?
You know
now.
what's great is like, I know, like, yeah, like people have been saying that, but I'm like, that's Jen's problem. That's not my problem. Like,
Good attitude. Good attitude.
I'm fine.
She's
like,
got a fucking Oscar.
I'm in the
Right.
movie. I'm just
Sure.
in the movie.
Sure.
You know, like I.
You have identified a social problem, which is that the woman will get blamed.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
And that's a problem with the movie as well. That's a problem identified in the movie as
That's
well.
right. That's right.
No, that's true. That's
I
true.
think this could be, you know how Top Gun Maverick, my buddy Steve told
Yes.
Tom Cruise that he saved movie theaters
Yeah, of course.
with Top Gun Maverick. I'm saying that you might save movie comedies.
Wow.
A year
Hey,
from now,
listen.
George is going to be grabbing your shoulders at the Oscar nominee lunch and
can we
going,
see
I mean
that
it.
now, just beforehand?
You saved Hollywood comedy's ass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much.
Because
I sure hope so.
people are making the mistake. I've heard people say that, you know, oh, well, for big spectacle movies like Avatar, for big superhero movies or for horror movies, they'll start to list genres that the theatrical experience is best for. And I think a lot of times people are thinking about what's on the screen visually.
Yeah.
But comedy
The social aspect.
is where the audience
Right.
really is such a. If you think for those of you, I mean, I don't know, generationally, some of you may not have had the experience of going to see comedy movies in the theater. I don't know. There's some young kids
I mean,
here.
kind of like
Yeah.
like I never when we were on set and everybody was kind of voicing this, like people
Yeah.
really want to laugh in the theaters. I was like, okay, I don't know what that's like, you know,
Right.
like I can't remember the last time I laughed out loud at a movie, and people keep telling me they're laughing out loud at the trailer. You
Yeah.
know, like that's crazy. And I was laughing out loud every day on set at things that Gene, our writer director, was like throwing at us on the spot. And
It's really exciting, and once again, no pressure, but you know, Watto's looking for like under 5 in studio comedies. It would help if they started getting greenlit again. You
yeah,
know?
I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully this. I think I kept thinking like, if we're gonna get here, like if somebody like me that looks like me can be in a big studio comedy like this, there's space for guys like us, Watto.
Look, I didn't want to say it, but I feel like, you know, if they'll accept your nose, then I can maybe push it
Yeah.
a little further. You know, I
Just
can
take
just
it a
bit.
little further. Yeah. Listen, there's 3 of us. It's a whole family.
Yes.
We don't talk about Judaism in the movie, but
No.
I think next time we
time.
do a family the sequel, you play my uncle.
Uncle Watto.
Uncle Watto.
Yes.
Some hard feelings.
No harder feelings, we
Yeah.
said. Yeah. Those are the two pitch titles. I don't think there's gonna be a fucking sequel, but but I do think the movie's. It's like the funniest script I've ever read and that a lot of people say they've ever read.
It's
So
very
I think
exciting.
you're gonna like it a lot.
I think, as identified the comedic possibilities of erectile dysfunction, there could very well be a sequel if you have the patience for it, where we see your character as an older man, and maybe his grown children are now like, we've got to get our grandpa one last sexual adventure.
It's still called No Hard Feelings, but no is just in all caps, like
Yeah.
no hard feelings.
Yeah,
There's really
yeah, like that
none.
guy's last name. No.
What's your character's name in the movie, Andrew?
Percy.
Right. So this will be the sequel, like 60 years later, the legacy sequel, and be called No Hard Feelings: Percy.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever been involved in a ABC television show?
Disney Plus is as close
Disney
as I've
Plus,
gotten.
but never on ABC. So by my count, I believe there are 3 of us on stage who have been involved in ABC television series.
Okay, unpack this, George.
All right? Michael, you're on Ugly Betty
Ugly
for
Betty.
3
Yeah.
seasons. I thought she was perfectly lovely. Is it me? Am I wrong? Seem very nice.
That's a fair point. That's
Yeah.
a fair point.
And of course, Emily Sloan on Alias.
Yeah, that was ABC.
That was ABC. And for a brief, wonderful period, ABC was the home of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's his show. It was his show.
I do want to say we don't have time for a standing ovation for the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. It would be irresponsible if we were to give that a standing ovation.
Folks,
Stop.
We have to load out. Load in the crowds.
Sit
Come on.
down.
I
Oh my
specifically said
goodness.
we cannot
Oh,
have this.
we don't have
We
time.
don't have time.
No time.
We don't have the time.
Oh my gosh, not everyone stood
Young
up.
Indy.
You caught? You caught? No, we're not done.
No. Absolutely. That was spontaneous. It just happened.
We haven't even begun talking about Ron Rifkin played your husband, played Sloan on Alias.
Yes.
And he was obsessed with the Rambaldi artifacts.
Yes.
Milo Rambaldi, mysterious figure in history. Your character faked your death. What an exciting show to be part of. You know, the guy who made that show later tried to make Star Warses. J.J. Abrams, he's made a couple Star Warses.
I know.
Try. It's a little bit
Well, I mean,
passive
he succeeded.
aggressive.
He made them. They're great. But,
made them.
But he made, first he was making Aliases.
It was
First he was making Felicities.
Yeah, before that he was making Felicities.
First, he was making Regarding Henry's.
Yes, first he was making Regarding Henry's. Then he was making Felicities. Then he was making Aliases. Then he was making Star Warses.
Yeah.
You forgot the Star Treks.
Yeah, he made some Star Treks. We don't need to list everything that JJ made. What was it like working on Alias? That's an exciting show.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Except I remember Lena Olin and I had this one scene where she had her gun up, and I think I had a gun, and we were like having to go across. We just couldn't. We just felt so silly.
Yeah.
You know, it was like get very serious and go around the corner, and like, it just was a silly thing.
Did you watch all the way to the end of the series?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
so you saw what happened to
I
Sloan,
didn't-
right?
I didn't understand all of it.
Oh, yeah. I don't think.
It gets very confusing.
Well, Milo Rambaldi was such a mysterious and confusing
me, yeah,
figure.
Tell
It's
me,
hard to know. You know.
explain it.
Well, he made all these artifacts, and
Yeah.
they were, I think, magical, but there was also, I think, math involved. But it's all MacGuffins. Like, it's all just devices to just.
I
know.
didn't even remember doing that series. To tell you the truth.
Well, it looked like some of your scenes were on in nice, like, beach locations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I remember being pregnant at one point.
You had cancer.
I had cancer, that's right.
Right.
And then she got killed twice and then came back as a ghost. That's weird.
Wow.
Ghosts are so spooky.
Hey, George.
But it's a great way to bring when you kill a character off and you're like, oh, I want to do more scenes. Then you can just be like, what if they come back as a ghost and they can talk for a few minutes? Not too many minutes, just a few minutes. Maybe in every movie they'll come back as a ghost again, just talk. Ghosts are the screenwriter's friend. It's like, oh no, we've killed off a major character, but I would love for this character to have 1 or 2 more conversations. With multiple characters.
George.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
don't
got
want to. No, no.
lost and just
no, it's
reminiscing
fine.
about how great it was. to make Star Wars.
Lost. That's another thing JJ
Oh,
did.
JJ.
George,
Yeah.
I don't want to call my shot here, But I do think I just perhaps came up with the funniest joke of all time.
All right, stand in the.
And
can we get a
I don't want
spotlight?
to overhype
Max,
it. Yeah, but
spotlight?
George has to set me up because you said it and I processed it and the conversation continued and I missed my window.
Yeah.
And so I'm asking for the setup again.
I'm gonna bypass Patrick. Go straight to the back here. Can we get some sort of jock jams ready?
What those big
You know what I mean? You know what I mean when I say a jock jam?
Yeah.
Max, do you know what I mean when I say a jock jam?
Any jock jam.
Yeah. You know the vibe I'm going for.
Yes.
We want to have that ready, and you'll know when.
Okay.
For immediately after the joke is executed to the point of hilarity.
Yes.
We want the jock jam to come right in.
Absolutely. Okay, so this
Is everyone on stage comfortable with this?
No, because he forgot his jock strap.
It's
he
in the
told
wash.
me backstage.
It's not a jock strap, it's a thong. It's
Yeah.
in the wash.
And we moved on from jock straps to jock jams.
That's what we want. And don't steal my thunder.
No,
that was a pretty
I
good
would never.
joke.
Not even your thunder down under.
Okay. Hold it.
We're greasing the skid, getting ready.
I want a paucity of laughter so that this joke comes out of the blue. The last thing I want is to overhype this joke.
Yes.
Watto's big joke.
It's Watto's big joke, okay? Right. So this is a joke, and this is what insiders would maybe call a bit of a callback.
Great.
But George, I need you to rewind the tape to when you were describing the end of Alias, how complicated it was, and you ended by saying there was some math involved.
All right. Milo Rambaldi was a very mysterious historical figure. He had all these artifacts. There was a certain amount of magic, and I think there was also some math involved.
Math belongs in a museum.
Not enough time to stand up. No time to stand up, everybody. Wow. Are you all ready for this? Oh my goodness, Watto. Watto. Oh, yeah.
Two hoofers.
Thank you. So, Andrew before was complaining about the Math Museum.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And George made the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make them. I helped make them with my buddy Steve.
Part of the key creative team. He always says things belong in the museum. I'm just doing a little behind the actor studio here.
You've really figured out how to move in that thing.
Thank you. And I thought to myself, wait a second, there's a joke here. And I went into my mind palace. It was sort of like a beautiful mind. I saw the words coming out. I connected the dots. I processed for about 3 minutes. Then I ground the show to a halt. I asked George to re-cue me for something that would have maybe been more impressive if I'd done it spontaneously.
No, it was really good.
Well, thank you. It was the greatest
should have
joke of
been
all
the
time.
end. I thought it was the end.
No. Well, you know, I don't know if do you still watch when Steve makes movies?
Do I watch him make movies?
No, when he makes a movie, like you go see them.
I saw Fableman.
Good movie, right?
The Fableman's very good.
But a couple of his movies sort of have, in the past 2 decades, and this is not a criticism, they'll have like an ending, and then maybe you'll think it's over, and then it'll go a little bit longer, and they'll have another ending. And it's great because you get more of what you like, which is a good movie.
You can say that, George.
I can
not
say
me.
that, yes. But that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the
He's
show
doing a
is
Spielberg.
We're
He's
doing
doing
we're
a
doing a
Spielberg moment.
Spielbergian.
21st
Yeah.
century Spielberg, which is that at the point where you think the movie might be over, you're going to get a little bit more.
Right.
And then you're going to get a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's great. And one of the movies that I think that happens in is Catch Me If You Can. And you're in a production of a musical production of Catch Me If You Can.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would
Good
not be
segue.
sitting here with you right now if I was not Frank Jr. and Catch Me If You Can at Lawrence Woodmere Academy, my high school.
Hey.
Wow.
It's true.
Pretty exciting. Now,
Yeah,
had you seen the movie before you did that?
I had seen the movie before I did that. Actually, my dad showed it to me when I was younger, and my parents were getting divorced at the time, and he was like, let's do something nice. Let's sit down and watch this movie. And the movie starts, and the whole the whole thing about Frank Jr. in that movie is that like Christopher Walken is like his parents are getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And we're watching it in silence, like full silence. And my dad, after a while, turns to me, he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know this movie was about. So I'd seen the movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Yeah.
pretty burned into my brain.
Yeah. That's that. You basically had a Fableman experience. That's
I had a
yeah,
Fableman
yeah,
experience.
Yeah, they did the Fableman.
He did a Fableman.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember how any of the songs go in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear a little of something.
Oh God, don't lean forward, Michael.
Lean back.
Let's
You like
see.
it better like
What
this?
is there like a? Do you know the movie well?
Oh yeah.
Is there like a particular moment from the movie that you like? What's the song there?
Oh yeah, when he's getting on an airplane and he's not a pilot, but he tricked people.
Oh yeah, it's a real swinging. It's called.
Because I love planes go so fast, and that's my favorite thing is when things go fast. So like when, like that, I love that movie, but my favorite part is when the airplanes go because I don't know if you have any idea how fast planes go, but I love when things go fast.
Yeah, they go. I mean, and they go pretty fast.
Yeah,
but
very fast.
I can't remember all the words to this song, but it's a big number. There's a lot of like. Yeah, it's like it's called
Do you need
Jet
a beat?
Set.
Do you need a beat?
It's like yeah. It's a right down to Italy with a beep beep beep. I can't remember the song. But up beep 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 beep. Hang on tight. Because Jet Set is the only way to go. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
So this answers my question. Are you a music guy or a lyrics guy? You like the music more than the words.
I'd say in particular with the musical Catch Me If You Can, that's absolutely true. It's not exactly poetry of the ages, but it's pretty good. Sorry, I didn't mean to burn.
And who did the lyrics for that?
I know the team was Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman, who are very excellent.
They're very excellent.
It's kind of a big merge of like, that classic big band thing and like musical theater contemporary pop through.
Yeah.
So
But,
it's more musical.
Like you can make all of Steve's movies into musicals because he always has such rhymable titles. Because Catch Me If You Can, you got so many words rhyme with can. Van, fan, plan.
E.T. I'm in love with E.T. It's easy. It's right there.
Me? Yeah.
Me?
He's in love with E.T.
Wait, who in the movie is in love with E.T.?
Elliot.
That's well, there's got to be a love
Elliot
story in the
loves-
musical.
Elliot-
What types of
Elliot
love,
loves him.
Patrick?
Elliot and E.T.
Not all-
kiss in the musical.
Not all love is a 6-hour kiss, Patrick. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah, but they've all got good, like 1941, and one rhymes with everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Bad.
And when the story's done.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Duel. I feel like such a fool driving on the road. You know, like
This
there's.
truck driver is cruel.
That's right. So good. This is a game you can also do at home.
I'm gonna take a little while to think of a rhyme for Fablemans.
Fableman. Oh, there's plenty. Cable Man.
Tabled sins.
There we go.
Table-
My mother's tabled sins.
Oh my God, very ambitious. Little Sondheim here.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wow, that's pretty good.
it's great. It's great. Doesn't
Close
rhyme.
enough.
It doesn't rhyme, but neither does Bjork, and she's doing great.
Here's my question.
Bjork is the one thing that I wish that ILM had created Bjork. When I look at Bjork, I'm like, why didn't we do this?
Bjork almost.
No one was working on one of these? What are we doing?
Bjork almost feels like a Pixar situation to me, where I wouldn't be surprised if you financed the first 3 years of development on Bjork,
Yeah.
and then when this is never going to make its money back, let's sell it off.
Yeah.
Iceland can have it. Here's my question. Of course, I would never be so foolish as to say we have 3 hoofers as guests on the show tonight.
Hookers?
Hoofers! We have 0 hookers, to my knowledge, on stage tonight. We have 1 hoofer, verifiably on stage tonight. But we have 3 people who have both shredded the boards and lit up the screen. And I wonder for all 3 of you if you have a preference, or if for you it's all the same, the live audience, the stage, versus the on-camera acting.
I'll go. Yeah, the stage is very exciting. It's very exciting having people around.
And this is the height of your career right
this
now.
is
right?
absolutely
Yeah.
no. It's all downhill after this. I'll only do film work after this because there won't be a finer audience than yours.
But you definitely you get that the battery charge from the live performance.
Yeah, and you're like, like it's a whole thing. You do the whole show, and then you're done. You go and make a movie or a TV show, and there's like your little part, and your little part here, and your little part there, and then they put it together later, and you see it. I mean, it's fun for people like you to make movies, but for us, it's
Not
often,
anymore, it's not.
Well, I know. I'm sorry about that. Sorry.
I make more museums than movies these days.
Yeah, you end up sitting in your trailer or in your tiny cell dressing, whatever, for about 8 hours, and then at 2 in the morning, they throw you in front of the camera for your close-up, and it's not. The theater's much more fun.
It's fun when you get to hang out with people on set. Like hanging out with Matthew Broderick or
Under the right.
I like rehearsals.
Yeah, under the right circumstances, spending 6 hours in a trailer wouldn't be that bad.
Depends on who's in the trailer with you.
I think this is all. I like them both. I think it is kind of two different jobs. Because with film, there's somebody who's there who's going to be the editor, and so you're like, I'm going to give you kind of every version of this that I think you might need. And whereas in theater, you're kind of your own editor every day. There's a director that's guiding you, but like here, I'm sensing what you responded to earlier, such as the math museum, and then you get to be like, I'm not going to jump back in and bring back the math museum because they liked it. But if the math museum earlier just died and was like, oh, we like math museums, you wouldn't have made that joke.
You don't know Watto that well. Watto probably would have still made the joke even if the first time bombed.
I like getting up and singing now.
Yeah.
I think getting up and singing is, there's nothing beats it. You know?
Yeah.
April 10th, City Winery. Tickets still available?
April 10th, yes.
City
A
Winery
couple.
rules.
Yeah, a couple still available. Grab them while you
but
can.
it is really fun. I mean, we have a great show. It's called Born in a Trunk.
Yeah.
And I tell stories about how each song came about.
So it'll be more than just a concert. You're promising a good amount of between-song content.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so for people who are like, I don't want to go to that, I hate songs. Well, I've got great news for you. In between the songs, you'll get to hear human talking.
There you go.
Narrative banter.
What's happening? Patrick, what's happening?
I'm grabbing a giveaway that you don't know about.
Oh, great.
Grabbing a giveaway that you don't know.
Well, you would have forgotten about these, so I wanted to grab these.
I absolutely would have. I
I
forgot
know,
about
that's
half the
why,
stuff
yeah.
we're supposed to do.
Hope it goes over bigger than the check.
How should we now?
Well, what is that? I don't know what
Now
you've got.
on April 10th, you have this show, and we have some posters that
These are signed posters.
Now, how do we?
Well,
we have a couple giveaways, so I want to make sure we get these before we wrap up.
right, and I think one of the things we want to reward is people who are here specifically because they're excited about the record, right?
Yes.
That feels like.
Yes.
And particularly people who can honestly say they've been listening to the advanced single,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh,
Thank you,
wait, here's the
George.
question. Is the album available for pre-order on Bandcamp right now?
Yes.
Can we give the posters to people who buy the album?
Wow.
Who can either show us the receipt or make the purchase now?
We'll also accept someone just going like, I did it.
Right. Honor system.
Yeah. Or,
Or you know what?
I did that. The I did that system.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, I did that system.
Yeah.
So I have 5, so we got to get to the 5 people. So let's figure out.
Let's.
How I
People
want
who
this.
are really excited about this should stand up.
There we go. Look at this.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Put that woman
You won.
in poster.
Right.
There
And by
we
the way-
go.
That's all you have to do is say, I'll be there, and you get one.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the person I put on the spot at the beginning of the show who said they had
at
no
this.
idea what this was.
They're here for you. All right.
All right, I got 4 more.
All right. We need 4 more people.
Back
yes.
there.
Back
There
there.
we go. Are we doing front
Yes.
front rows only? Is that how this is working?
No.
tonight?
I see
We
a
got-
hand there.
Where? Way in the back? Oh boy. Okay. Great. I'll circle back.
Amy, what were the recording sessions like? What was the vibe in the? Where did you record?
We record on Flex Studio on the Lower East Side. It was very cool. We have a large band.
Yeah.
There's a
How many players?
11.
11.
Yeah, we have backup
one.
singers, we have horn players, we
Ooh.
have,
One.
we have, it's full and rich and wonderful, and Jules led us along, and it was my first time really doing anything like that, so he held my hand and got me through it, but it was fun.
Oh, it's so
Our
exciting.
the video for Why Don't You Do Right is in the studio. You can actually see us recording it.
Yeah. It's exciting, right?
I think it's pretty exciting.
It's pretty exciting. Do you think so?
I think it's okay. I want to hear about Roger Rabbit. Can you tell us about playing the voice of Jessica Rabbit as a singer?
My husband at the time, Steven Spielberg, was the executive producer.
Buddy Steve.
And Robert Zemeckis, the director, needed someone to put down a temp track for the animators singing Why Don't You Do Right so that Jessica Rabbit could. And it was just literally, I went into the studio, did one take with the band, and left. Yeah. And he liked it, and he ended up using it in the film. I know Kathleen Turner would have liked to have been the singing voice.
Yeah.
And she probably could have handled it just fine, but Bob liked this,
I don't
and
think
so
so.
that's how it came out. What did you say?
I don't think she could have.
Really?
I mean, no, that voice is.
She's got an act. She gets up and sings. She
Yeah.
actually sings Why Don't You Do Right in her act.
But it's like
I
down here.
I
Get
haven't-
out of here.
I got to say, Amy, it sounds like a crazy story on its face for such a big movie and such a big project, but I feel like I can think of one other instance I know of somehow someone ending up a voice in a Disney movie just because they were on the right Zoom call at the right time when someone else didn't show up, and it was cheap. But moving on.
Yeah. What a disenchanting story.
Now, George, we have
Yeah.
two other giveaways, and then we should wrap up, I think.
Yeah. Well, I might save the other giveaway for the After Dark show.
But
Well,
they're-
okay.
no, I'm saying the two that are related to this
Oh,
show.
the two for this. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know how many of you have Laserdisc players. You held up both hands. You have two Laserdisc players? You have one? All right. This guy's getting one.
Here.
Give him the one that didn't drop earlier.
Yeah, there's one that's broken.
Yeah. Full disclosure, the man who says he has a working Laserdisc player is going to get the first Crossing Delancey Laserdisc.
Yes, for those in the back, this is Crossing Delancey, the great Joan Nicholson Silver film starring Amy.
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone else have a laser disc player?
But the important, I mean, beyond, the movie's available on
He
all
does.
platforms.
Jules has
There
one.
we go.
The
Pass
sleeve
that back.
the sleeve art is why you get
It's
a
great.
Laserdisc
Yes.
now, because it's nice. It's like having a record album.
Good surface area.
But now,
Yeah.
George, I feel bad.
Why?
Because we only gave out two, and I feel like not everyone's going to be able to experience Crossing Delancey.
Well, you make
Well.
a great point.
That's sad. Isn't that
It's
sad?
sad.
it's sad.
It's sad.
Aww.
But
See,
here's
this
the
is
thing.
why it's good I did the warm-up. They knew
Yeah,
it
this
was
is good. That was good.
You can sit down now, Patrick.
Yeah.
You've set it up fine.
Thank you.
We've had. First of all, I want to thank our wonderful guests for being on the show tonight. But you know, we're only 2 blocks away from Delancey Street. It seems like it would be an awful shame not to take advantage of this opportunity to collectively, as a group, experience the feeling of crossing Delancey.
Everyone grab all of your stuff.
No, not yet, because there are rules. There are rules. We want
There are
everyone to
rules.
be safe, so don't do anything crazy. It's not our fault once we leave the venue. Everyone needs to be smart. It's New York City. But it would be a shame if we didn't use this opportunity to live stream, take pictures, and use hashtags that will help promote Amy's album. And other things we want to promote, Shrinking on Apple TV+.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do we have a hashtag?
Absolutely. Hashtag shrinking.
Okay, Andrew, do you have a hashtag hard as I can be? What is it?
It's either hashtag no hard feelings or hashtag no hard feelings movie. And
No
you don't have
Hard
to use the
Feelings
one that says
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
We're all going to collectively leave the theater together. We're going to walk 2 blocks south. We're going to cross Delancey Street. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Together. And, I'm going to get something that's better for the road.
Yes.
And
I do want to remind everyone, we do have a 9:30 show. There are still some tickets available, so if you haven't got your tickets, you can come
tell
back.
who's on the show.
We have Jeff Hiller, who's great. We have Karen Chi, who's great. And we got a little guy, I don't know if you heard of him. His name's Richard Kind. Also
Bing
great.
bong.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show, and let's all go cross Delancey
Let's
together.
do it.
Let's all
And
go
may the
cross.
force be with you always.
So we'll meet outside. They're going to put new shoes on. We will all meet you outside, and we will all go to Delancey Street together. You ready for this? Are you ready to go across Delancey, George?
Yeah, we're going to go across Delancey. The entire audience is leaving the theater, and those who are interested are going to go across Delancey Street as part of, I guess this is a happening.
Hello, this is Watto. This is an Instagram takeover.
All right,
I'm here
we
with
go.
George Lucas.
Everybody.
We just did our first of 2 shows tonight at Caveat. And now we're going to cross Delancey.
All right, so
Because our guest was Amy Irving, and she's in the movie Crossing Delancey, and that is close to where the theater is, and we think this is funny. And also crossing Delancey with us is the entire audience of the show who was just here.
all right, I think I always see some of the guests coming through. Here come the guests.
Everybody from the audience
Wonderful, wonderful.
is going to cross Delancey.
We're going to go cross Delancey.
There's George.
This is a happening. This is an organic moment. This is real. Hello, Amy. How are you doing?
You are very cute.
Well,
Character.
hey, I'll take that.
You are.
That was not said when The Phantom Menace was
You guys are
released.
really
People had very harsh words. They thought I was unsavory,
Everyone watch your step.
problematic.
Everyone watch your step.
Everyone watch your step.
Good looking at you.
Everyone watch your step.
Hey, Gabe.
Watto's definitely tried to do a rebranding.
I feel like we might be going.
There are people who are just trying to enjoy a night out on the Lower East Side who seem actively annoyed by the fact that there's a whole crowd of people clearly doing some kind of bit that they're not keyed into.
Crossing Delancey.
Crossing Delancey. What can we expect? So season 2 of Shrinking is going to be coming out.
I don't know. We'll be shooting soon.
That's exciting. But anything could happen. What a finale.
I know.
Did you know? No spoilers,
Quite
but
the cliffhanger, as it were.
yes. Did you know before you saw it what was going to happen?
Yes.
Okay, so you
I
had
was
like a
aware.
table read type situation.
Yeah, they told us in the script, but it was
Yeah.
a very exciting cliffhanger.
Have you ever crossed Delancey Street?
Not to the point that I noted. I was like, I'm crossing Delancey
Sure,
right now,
sure,
so
sure,
it's
sure.
possible, but not really. This is really.
This is how you're.
This is really
this is
the
how
first
you're
time
choosing.
crossing Delancey.
Yes. Okay. I wonder if people are going to be confused who are not part of this show.
Confused in what way?
Like this person right here.
What
Will
does
they be
he
like,
think is
what
happening?
what is happening? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's regular
Now
New
we're
York.
crossing
we can't
Stanton
exact-
Street right now.
Not the name of the movie.
No.
Okay, now George and I are going to swap phones. This is an idea I just had.
Oh, great. Okay.
Hello, this is
Okay.
Watto.
We're getting too far ahead. Hello, retired filmmaker George Lucas.
No, so now we're slowing down.
That because the lighting.
Watto on George's
Yeah.
phone.
All right. So here's the crowd coming to cross
George
Delancey
is on
with
Watto's
us.
phone. We have people
Well, the signage of the Laserdisc is working really well.
crossing Delancey later.
Leading the way. All right, here we go.
See that. There
And now
go.
we are really catching up, which is
Now
great.
Here we are.
All right.
Hello, Watto. We got
see.
42 viewers. The Jackie Robinson number.
All right.
We're
Here
breaking
we go.
the
We are
barrier.
getting so close. Everyone watch your step.
This is a record.
Watch your step, Watto.
Okay.
It's along 2 blocks. I'll
It's
say
along
this.
2 blocks.
Like, it's deceptive
It is.
on a map.
When I walk, I usually walk alone, and it's very easy because you set the tempo.
Yeah.
It gets harder when you have the entire audience of a comedy show behind you.
But I will say this is getting funnier with each passing second.
It is. Do you want to change?
Yes,
swap
let's change
phone?
back.
Okay, hello, this is Watto again. You can smell the pickles. We're getting so close to crossing Delancey.
Okay, when do we start shooting again so we can watch more?
Soon.
Tell Harrison hey for me.
I will.
I haven't seen him in many years. But, hi, Eddie.
Hey! What was the Barbra story you didn't tell?
So, should I tell you the Barbra story I didn't tell? I didn't think it was the right crowd.
Oh, was the Instagram live account the right crowd?
I don't know.
I think so. There's 3 people watching.
We were
All right, here we go.
watching
Now we are.
So there was, the day before I started shooting in Prague, I wanted to have a massage because I was a little tense.
Before we started shooting Yentl.
Yeah. When we were, yeah. And I smoked again. And I went down to the basement spa and I had a massage. And the man, while I was on my belly, he seemed to be going up the back of my leg for a very long time, going up and down my back of my leg. And I could see his fingers.
We're crossing Delancey!
I'm just not sure, but it went on and on and on like this. And I gotta say I was aroused.
You did.
I
You
was
were.
aroused, yes.
By the masseuse.
Oh, it was interesting. Anyway, he turned me over and he was about to go in for a happy ending. And I went, no, I can't handle that. And I left, but the next morning I'm telling everybody on the set, including
Barbra Streisand.
you could not book that man for the rest of the shoot.
Did she go? Did Mandy Patinkin go to shoot?
Right now we are approaching Delancey, which would be a great title for a prequel.
That's true. Oh, wow. Crossing Delancey Origins.
Yeah.
Approaching Delancey.
I think I'm going to pitch this to Amy Irving. Hold on. Amy, I have a pitch. Amy. I don't know if you like prequels. What do you think about approaching Delancey? Absolutely. Yes, it is. That was in the setup. Oh, now you got yourself a trilogy. Now you're thinking.
CGI to young her.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, you can just use the Irishman technology to make as many prequels as you want. Crossing Delancey, 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 crossing